Welcome to another episode of Dr. Dinosaur. Today, we're in Jurassic World Evolution and I'm going to be building my own Jurassic World. We're going to use Isla Nublar 1993. It's the biggest space in the game. We're going to set it to creative and begin. We're going to begin by placing down some hatcheries. 1, 2. And then let's connect them up with paths to the operations center, beginning of the park. Then we're going to do some terrain making and smoothing out the terrain a little bit so it blends in with the environment around it and looks a bit nicer. Then we'll add fence around it so the dinosaurs cannot escape. Then we'll do some more terrain building and add in some water. Then we'll smoothen out the sides of the water so it looks more realistic. And then go ahead and add in some trees so it looks a bit more natural than just a pool of water in the middle of a grass enclosure. And then we'll have a dividing fence down the middle so the dinosaurs do not fight each other. And then we'll add some more water in the other side. And that's the hatchery complex. Moving swiftly on, we're going to make an enclosure for our dinosaur. First it's going to be a 2x1 square. And then we're going to add a viewing gallery on so our guests can see the dinosaur. Then we're going to connect it up with a path to our operations center. Then I realized that the enclosure was way too small, so I went and doubled the size of it and removed that tiny little bit in the middle. Then we're gonna do some terrain making and we're gonna add some water for our dinosaurs to drink from. Then we're gonna get rid of the trees in the middle. Looks like this so far. Then we're going to use the scenery tool and add in some redwood trees, using lots of different varieties of the different trees for this. Now that that's done, we can move on to adding rocks, different types. But then to blend them in, we're going to use the rock texture, add a little bit around it. Looks like this. And then we're going to add a feeder, carnivore feeder, and I bet you're wondering what dinosaur we're going to have. So we're in the hatchery, and the dinosaur we're going to have is the only Triassic dinosaur in the game, Hererasaurus. We're going to modify the genome, and since there are no male and female in this game, we're going to use a step pattern to look like a male. Then the arid pattern to look like the female. Now that we've done that, we can decorate the outside so it looks more like a trail you're walking through prehistoric woods of the Triassic period. We use lots of different varieties of trees for this, just like we did in the other enclosure. Then we're going to change the colour of the path. We're going to use the cheap path for that because it looks more like trail than the other paths do. Now it's look like this at the moment. As you can see, it looks like something you would walk through if it was wood. But I need to blend it in with the other environments, so we're going to use regular trees for that. Put them around everywhere, just blend it in with the outside. And then So people cannot see the fence. We're going to cover up the parts that show off the fence. And that's enclosure finished. Now our dinosaurs finished cooking up, let's go ahead and release them. This is the male. Wow, such a cool model. I love this iron. Goes for a quick drink. While it's doing that, let's set up an ACU center. We're gonna have to remove a few of these trees, put it in. We can place it down just there. Then connect up the paths to the operations center. There we go. And add in a few more trees again. And some more foliage to try and hide the ACU center from the guests. Then we'll go ahead and select our Hererasaurus and transport them to their new enclosure.
Heading to collect the asset.
And we're going to add some decoration like a fence near the ACU center.
Asset being transported.
And a few rocks with some rock texture around them. And with that, it's finished. See you next time for some more Jurassic World Evolution. Bye!